We are live, Will Noonan.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up?
Will
What's
Noonan
up?
coming at ya. Polly Price. Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is going to
I like
be
your
fun.
belt buckle.
I'm going to come up with different openings every show, and that's going to challenge my mind. And then someone out there one day, 10 years from now, will make a montage. Well, yeah, man, this is my Levi Strauss and Company belt buckle. It's
Did you win
original
that?
riveted. I got it on
The comedy belt? They should do that.
Oh, dude, I would love that. I also, when you win a rodeo, you get a belt buckle. I would
Exactly,
love it.
yeah,
Like if
that's
you
what I'm
had
thinking.
a great laugh Boston belt buckle. Yeah, I got 2 or 3 big belt buckles over the.
I like them. I never wear them. I like it, but I always feel silly.
My dad's fucking awesome. Like when I hang out with my dad, I kind of get an idea of what everyone thinks of me because my dad's just very blunt and to the point. So you're like hanging out. And my dad was like, kind of doing a cowboy thing, huh? And I'm like, you just basically now I know that everyone thinks that. You know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean?
Kind of doing a cowboy thing. That's fucking great.
The man the man birthed me in a way like he's my father. He knows me.
You're like,
I'm part.
oh,
him.
dag nabbit.
He's looking at me like
Pa.
I do things, and I know when a guy's doing a thing. Doing a cowboy thing, huh? And I was like, what do you think? He's like, I like it.
He was pro cowboy.
I knew he'd dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Comedy's coming back this week. Getting back to work. I did the news. Did a news report with my mask on.
I saw that.
I felt like I did 2 or 3 interviews that day, and I feel like I'm gonna be haunted by them for my whole life because I get excited. You know what I mean? I get eager. I get in the mood. And when I was in that club and there was media in there and we're like talking about opening that weekend, I just started to get
psyched.
like so psyched. You know what I mean? And that clip, I'm like, I just can't wait. And I don't care if it's 20% or 30% or 40%. And then I was watching and I was like, I get why people find me annoying, especially like my friends in comedy, my contemporaries. They're like, Will, I see why it probably comes off phony.
It's not phony, though. You just think you're excited.
I'm a happy, excited boy.
Yeah. This is what you're talking about?
Yeah, this is it.
Last year, I'm not going to complain if it's 10%, 20%, 30%. I'm just happy to have human beings in front
Hair
of me
looks
again.
good.
I like it. I think you can mix. It's like 20%, 30%, rolling back prices.
Seriously, I thought that too. I did try and do it. I go, how do I feel about PLTR? I don't care if it goes up 10%, 20%, 30%. But all right, so I found that whole experience to be so odd to see, right? Because I said it to you, I was like, how far now? I'm on the news, Paul, with coronavirus pandemic down in the bottom. Right, like down in the corner. They showed it the next day. It was like vaccines available, ticking across the bottom. And I'm there wearing a mask, doing the whole thing where I'm being interviewed by Rachel Holt from like 8 feet away. I was kind of sad that they mic'd me up. And I wanted to be interviewed with like the 8-foot mic. That's like one of the COVID things I haven't done.
Yeah.
But yeah, that little coronavirus pandemic, Will Noonan, comedian. I was like, imagine showing that to us. Like this time last year, or even before that, when we were joking about coronavirus on this show, and here I am a year later on the news.
It's like 20%, 30%.
I'm just happy to be back to work. 20%, 30%, 40%. I'm not fucking scared or crazy or anything. Like what has happened to us as a society?
That's why this was so brilliant.
Yeah, I was happy with this. This was a collab. Sort of my idea mixed with the club's idea.
Yeah.
But anyway, so comedy's coming back. Tons of press about it. I love it. I love how happy people are. I got a message today from a girl who's not even a fan of comedy, but she was like, I was so happy to see you at the House of Blues because that means I'll be at a concert at the House of Blues. So I'm going to go see comedy just so I can be back in the room again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, great.
I get that. I think a lot of people feel like that. Not the doomers. But.
I love seeing all my friends posting their shows again, like on Twitter and on, like everyone like is like doing shows like in
these
in
comedy
their
clubs
cities.
need it. So
Oh my God.
it's been over a year.
Chris
so.
Italia, like John Tobin. like I want this for them too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and not because they're like, they're like poor guys and they needed money. I mean, because like they just spent a lot of club owners spent a year keeping us and themselves, but like it's like been a plate spinning.
Yeah.
Like it's been on such a thread. It's been like, how do we keep the name of the business alive? How do we keep these comedians from like completely losing their skills and their mind and their name recognition? It was like a whole fucking thing. And then I found out they all had problems with like the plumbing because none of these places are built to sit unused for a year.
Yeah.
So like all the
You
plumbing,
never think of something like that.
bar stuff got fucked up, like all the nozzles and little things.
Everything.
So
has
not
to be
only did they get
redone.
hit for like no income, paying rent on an empty building that's not being used, and then they gotta like basically remodel a lot, all of
Yeah.
them. Big fucking.
I feel like people are gonna come out
I mean, you're so far so good.
so far. Yeah.
Like the tickets are selling like crazy. The radio, like,
I'm going to the movies. It's all coming back.
dude, I've done some radio shows, and it's like I as soon as I get off the air, like bang, 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 people are like, I can't fucking wait. You know what I mean? Hitting me up. And New York's coming back. Like, what's up with this?
Yeah.
So you just took it down. I'm like,
No, it's there.
the New York. So this story was fucking weird, man.
It's a funny story though.
I wrote this article called "I'm sick of articles." I wrote an article about articles. I'm like, I'm sick of all these. I know it gets more clicks to say something is bad. Like Reamer, who I love. I think he's getting assignments. I don't think he's coming up with all these, but like he had one yesterday that was like, "Is Fenway Park opening too fast?" I'm like, dude, like we can't keep doing this. Like we keep doing this. Is it too fast? Have we done this? And every time we're wrong, it's like all that stuff is fear mongering, you know? And this even was like, well,
this wanted to be fair mongering.
well, so hard. It's like the city's opening clubs, and it's not even fear mongering about fucking COVID. It's fear mongering about
new jokes. What
like-
are the jokes that you can't tell now?
jokes being like,
Weapons.
can you go up? I'm sorry, I forgot the exact wording, but it was like, what jokes are all right, or what jokes are okay, or fair game.
Fair game.
It's
yeah.
like here's
what jokes are and aren't fair game.
people think. When I said all jokes are fair game, got a lot of retweets, right? I think a lot of those retweets were people thinking, yeah, like racist, right? It's like, no, man. What I'm saying is all jokes are fair game because anything can be a joke if it makes someone laugh.
It has to be too, especially now.
But you can never like say that is like a sin to say like you can't joke about that.
Yeah.
Because it's like no. That's just like Chris Rock made the N-word funny. Like countless female comedians have made like their own like sexual assaults funny. Like, you know what I mean? Like people can turn tragedies into comedies. That's the birth of comedy. Like it's like we comedians, good ones, take uncomfortable topics and like fuck with them and serve them to you in a way that's abstract and makes you think and it's in this playpen of comedy where it's like, hey, nothing here can really hurt us. Like these are ideas, these are concepts. We're in a glorified dorm room, like trading like bullshit, basically, right? And it's like, here's this guy. We're about to get right back into comedy, and before we're even got our foot back in the door, he's trying to start a war over
Words
and what words you could say and not say. And it's bullshit, man. And that's what I mean. I'm like, if you go out there trying to shock people, that's not funny. But it is fair game. And guess what the game is? The audience will fucking boo you and not laugh.
Exactly.
That's
the whole thing.
game.
That's what I don't understand about the whole thing. You just don't have to look. There's so much. There's everything out there. There's a million kinds of comedy.
Yeah.
No one's forcing any comedy on anyone because there's a million options.
It just sucks. Like, what if Chris Rock, his famous N-word bit,
Doesn't get to do that.
what if he started writing that and went, this joke is just not fair game?
Yeah.
And then maybe the quintessential bit that people bring up, like that goes with Chris Rock, was never written. You know what I mean? And yeah, maybe no great loss to like the whole of society. Like it's not the cure for polio, but it's like, it's just pointless to me. Like this, let's just not go back to this shit.
That's why what Aaron Berg did was so funny though, because he slipped in a very, very like a old hilarious joke that just went through like right through this guy's fucking head.
And I also think this guy printed this joke thinking like, oh man, like Aaron Berg is going to be like the villain of this article. And then it turned out to be like, man, I should go see some comedy. That was a funny little joke.
But even something like this, man skin peeled off in rare reaction. Like, people don't want to let anything go. They don't want any bit of power anybody gets. Like that writer,
oh yeah.
No one wants to let anything go.
No,
it's time
no,
to
I
let
mean,
everything go.
Well, and there's a lot of, listen, we all have a job to do, right?
Yeah.
Aaron Berg and me, our job is to go out and get paid to make jokes. This dude's job is to get paid to
make
write
people
articles people
feel
want to
bad.
read. People don't want to read. New York Comedy's coming back and it's gonna be great. Like
Yeah.
people just don't want to fucking read that.
See, that's true. See, that's a good point. Sometimes I shoot the messenger, I guess, but it's people who want it. It's the appetite.
No, everyone.
It's the appetite for it.
If you always remember that every human being on earth is inherently selfish and is just trying to protect themselves from death and poverty, like it makes everything so much easier. Because like every journalist just wants to be fucking the most famous journalist. You know, it's true though.
They'll write anything.
They'll write anything that gets them to that point. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with activism. You know what I mean? It's like as soon
or sports owners.
As soon as like an organization that starts out with pure intentions, like let's just say like, oh, protect the let's say they were trying to kill Maggie Simpson on The Simpsons and there was a big group. Protect Maggie, right? As soon as that group hits like 500 people, there's going to be problems where like someone wants to use the group to maybe do something else and someone wants to be the head of the group and they don't like, and it's like,
we're sick of all these white women rising up in this Maggie Simpson love group.
Exactly. Like groups are just inherently corrupt.
Yeah. Like people are dumb and gross.
Yeah, because we can't share. I always like that example of everything that you need to see that's wrong with like the country, you can see in a town hall in any town in America.
Yeah.
Someone goes into the town hall and they want something. My kid plays soccer.
Where's Nancy Pelosi's
I want a
desk?
soccer field for my kid, right? Yeah, where's Nancy Pelosi? They go, my kid plays soccer. I want a soccer field for my kid. And the guy who they elected to not spend money, really, the guy they elected is like, well, it's my job to make sure we get everything for the lowest possible price and never spend like a lot of money and everything is done. Like, so it's technically my job to say no first.
Yeah.
And then be fought.
Yeah.
To like maybe give you something.
Yeah.
And that's
of your own money.
Yeah. Of your own tax money that you put in. And you elected me to do this.
Yeah. But we squandered it before, so here we are.
And it's like, you want a soccer field because your son wants to play soccer.
Yeah.
I don't because the town doesn't want, the town wants money and I want the town to be happy so I can keep sitting here talking to you.
And Connor sucks at soccer anyway.
Yeah, and fuck Connor, I'm sick of him. Put your kid in hockey.
Yeah.
That's a town over. I don't have to worry about that.
That's Lawrence's problem.